Hello and welcome to the D3 Energy video series. I am Greg Davis, founder of D3 Energy, and I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me today to discuss conventional oil and gas. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today are the challenges facing our industry today because we have become so reliant on unconventional shale resource, horizontal drilling, and fracking as our main source of growth and production as an industry. Now, don't get me wrong, I am all for unconventional shale resource, horizontal drilling, fracking wells. It's what has helped to make America hydrocarbon dominant right now. But there are challenges right now facing our industry because most of the activity, about 90% of the wells today being drilled, are horizontal wells into shale that require fracking services, that require a lot of capital, that require high horsepower rigs, that require fracking services and lots of materials, raw materials that are required to get those wells drilled, completed, stimulated, and on production. Versus a conventional vertical well, which is much cheaper, less expensive, less equipment, less horsepower rigs, don't require the volume and the intensity of services to drill, complete, and get on production. These resource wells require a lot of manpower, a lot of equipment, and particularly in the completion phase. Once the well has been drilled horizontally and out, let's say, 5,000 feet, 8,000 feet, then crews have to come in and hydraulically fracture, stimulate these wellbores. And there is so much activity in certain areas like the core of the Permian Basin where resources, supplies of sand are restricted, water, there's not enough people, there's not enough frac crews. There is a backlog of wells, 12 to 1,400 wells that are drilled but waiting on completion. And so while there's been these bold predictions of the growth of America's oil and gas industry, and I think that we are growing, we have become the hydrocarbon leader in the world. The challenge is the system is getting taxed. There's not enough labor, there's not enough frac crews, there's not enough sand, there's not enough water. And so, as an industry, I have no doubt that we will figure a way around it. But so much money and so much activity, so many companies have poured into these core regions that there is supply shortages, and it's a real challenge. And experts are now saying, wait a minute, these grand predictions of continued growth, sort of a straight line growth, with the more horsepower, the more technology, the more innovation, we'll just keep getting more and more out of these shale resource trends. Well, that is not quite the case. And there are challenges ahead versus conventional. And this is the point I want to make. A conventional oil and gas well predominantly is a vertical well. It requires less pipe, less manpower, less horsepower. It doesn't require all the sand and the water to hydraulically fracture stimulate the well. So the completion process is simpler. And there are services available. Again, like I said, 90% of the wells drilled in the United States today are horizontal wells that require fracking. Well, a conventional vertical well does not require that. Only about 10% of the wells right now are drilled vertically. And so services are available. The rigs are available. The people are available. The equipment is available. It's less money, both for the land and for the drilling services. And so there's a natural hedge on service cost escalation. So in the resource plays today, service costs are going up. There is a scarcity of resources, of people, of manpower and horsepower. One of the other challenges is companies have been boasting about when they buy an acre of land, they can get more and more oil per acre out because they drill in multiple formations, or they put a bigger frac in it, or they drill multiple wells, or they stack them, vertically or horizontally in different formations. And one of the things that they are finding now is when a well is drilled into a formation, and they call it the parent well, the initial well, the parent well, the first well in that formation. When they drill the offset well or the child well, the offset child well may not perform as well as the parent well, because while engineers thought they weren't in communication with each other, now they're starting to see communication. So the results per well are diminishing. So it's causing problems, it's causing challenges. And so these are of several of the reasons why I am saying, and I think the industry is starting to wake up, the investment community is starting to wake up. There is so many places and so many areas, great areas in legacy conventional trends where we can go drill those wells vertically. We don't need a fraction of the land cost, the drilling cost, the manpower, the horsepower. We don't need all the raw materials that a horizontal shale resource well does. And the opportunity is big. And so for that reason, and the economics are great. So great economics, less money, availability of services. There's a natural hedge on service cost escalation in conventional trends because the equipment's available, the people are available, the rig's available. We don't need all the raw materials and sources. The opportunity is big. And the industry is starting to wake up to it. There's more activity, more investment. And that's what I'm hoping to get across to my audience. And I hope you spread the word. So there's a challenge to our industry. If we want to keep America's position as the dominant oil and gas country in the world, yes, let's get more shale. Let's get more of the resource plays going. But let's diversify into the program, into the portfolio of companies, conventional vertical drilling. It's out there. It's waiting to be had. And that, combined with unconventional, when you put the forces of conventional and unconventional together, and we're going after both with the vigor that we have had, America will continue to hold its spot as the hydrocarbon dominant country in the world. Thank you very much for spending a little time today. Please share this video. Help me to continue to build and grow the audience here. Spread the word. Share this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.